Hello, lovelies. For my sins, I am reviewing a bunch of different books that Jim Raji from Lamentations of the Flame Princess sent me. So, as a preamble to this video and the rest of the videos, Jim sends me review copies for free. He is a friend, so all of that might colour my perception. Also, we're fellow travellers against censorship and the nasty mob-handed authoritarian streak that has been in gaming for the past, decade. I guess. All of which may colour my reviews. Also, since criticism of me seems to have shifted from "you have dirty fingernails" to you are pale. Yes, I am. That's because I am this parallel world's incarnation of the Eternal Champion. It's just that our world is shit. So rather than getting in sword fights or changing the world, I'm reviewing role-playing games in a vain attempt to restore balance between chaos and order. So, of all of the lovely things that Jim sent me, what are we looking at first? We're looking at Faecal Lands, which is a sort of sandbox-ish, shitbox-ish adventure set in a pocket dimension of poo. And you're going to need a lot of synonyms for poo if you want to run this game. May I suggest ordure, excrement, fertilizer, poop, number twos, gong. There's plenty out there, especially if you dip into slang and euphemism. So, what do we get here? We get a little hardback adventure book of around 30-ish pages, with front paper and back paper, with maps, full colour throughout, approximately A5 in size. About poo. The author's photo on the back, also covered in poo, is delightful as well, of course. And it's written by Shatner Turdsmith, which I suspect is not their real name. So, for whatever reason, your characters get sucked into the Faecal Lands, the poo dimension, and obviously they're going to be trying to find a way out. Now, reviewing adventures is difficult, which is annoying because everything that Jim sends out pretty much is adventures. Because you want to review them, but you want to review them without giving too much away about them, and that means you can't really review the content so much because you're going to give too much away. But suffice to say, a lot of inspiration seems to have been taken from the Golgothan in Kevin Smith movie. We have far too many random encounters for a world of poo. 200 and instructions on how to roll a D200. In fact, it's basically a disgusting demon dimension, full of horrible things, horrible people, and nasty stuff. Very few actual locations, not a lot to eat, even less to drink, and suitable horrible creatures. It is a one-note adventure. That note being the brown note. So, you're going into this, I think you're going to know of what to expect. Taken slightly more seriously, and used in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, this might make a good sort of pocket hell dimension for Nurgle or something, but this isn't taking itself seriously, obviously. So, it's an adventure for people who like poop jokes. And really all there is to it is that you want to escape. So I can't really give too much away because there is not too much there to give away. Yeah, it's about poo. There's not a lot more to say about it. It borders on Vengerism in its pop culture references and sheer randomness, though I would say it's slightly more serious. Clearly, it's gonzo and weird. As I say, taken slightly more seriously. You could actually use this meaningfully in a campaign as a region of hell, or somewhere that people are sent. You know, demons are often thought to be disgusting and so on. The trouble is, with it being stuck on that one brown note, I think adventurers, players, are going to get inured to the disgust fairly swiftly unless they leave straight away. So there's that. Alright, in terms of style, it's a nice hardback book, the usual, high level of production values. It is various shades of brown, orange and yellow throughout, with the occasional bit of green. So, the theme is really strong, the artwork is useful. Whether you can get hold of the maps elsewhere, I don't know. That's always a thought for me these days, is whether there's a way to get or export the maps in a way that is usable on something like Roll20. Though I think if things carry on as they are, Roll20 will probably ban poop maps and similar from being uploaded, which is a shame, but there you go. It's in so much as a book about shit can be a nice object, though the cover is kind of gag inducing, and if this was you, see a doctor. There's even a recipe for making fake poo in here, so that's useful. But presentation wise, can't really knock it. I suppose it's meant to be disgusting. It's suitably disgusting. The design note throughout the book is very strong. It's got decent illustrations, good maps, again, in so much as maps of shit can be interesting or viewable. So, in terms of style, for some of the artwork and that could be a bit more refined, it could use a big list of synonyms for shit and piss, so that your descriptions don't get too bland and so you can stop your players getting too inured to what you're describing. But overall, it knows what it is and it doubles down on it. In terms of substance, this is probably not something you're going to use twice. The monsters, you might, but they're not hugely memorable, really. They're the kind of thing that you would expect. The giant flies and maggots, those kind of things turn up in a lot of adventures anyway. If you wanted to have manifestations of Beelzebub or whatever, they might be more useful. But overall, substance-wise, it's a bit thin and runny when it comes to substance. So, but it's an adventure. Adventures don't normally have stuff that you can reuse too widely. So I'll give it a 3 for substance. There is the occasional kernel of corn that is actually reusable in here. So that is style 4, substance 3, 7 out of 10, 3.5 out of 5. Worth it, maybe just for the look on your players' faces when they're confronted with a world of shit. Besides this one that we're all stuck in. Zang. Old Fat Punks is part caper, part comedy, part nostalgia, and part commentary. It follows 3 aging punks as they build themselves up for one big, nihilistic last hurrah. You can buy Old Fat Punks at Amazon, Drive-Thru Fiction, or Lulu.com. Follow the links below or search on those sites.